I had no idea when I graduated that I would ever be back in the capacity that I am now. This is a time when some of the key explorers are actually killed. What I was thinking about is that I always knew that it was going to be fun to come back here and know that I was a graduate of Rice University. And more than once, I would walk down to Founders Court and walk down that drive that leads out to the entrance at Main and Sunset. And I would look at that gate when I was a student here, and I would think, it's going to be really nice to drive through this gate when I'm finished, and to know that whew, I did it. Of course, I didn't know that I would work here, but I'm glad that I do.
If I had known somebody like Alex Byrd was here, I would have chosen Rice again. He has these standards and enthusiasm that really I think he gets the best out of his students.
Dr. Byrd is like genuinely loves students, genuinely mentors students. And I mean, there's lots of people I know from Rice who went here when I went here, and afterwards who feel a very similar way about Dr. Byrd.
He's exactly the type of professor I could have hoped to have at Rice. The course I took with Dr. Byrd, it was urban education in the South. And so he grew up after that in Houston, after integration, and so he was able to kind of give us that perspective.
Being black at Rice didn't approach anywhere near the diversity that it does now. I'm happy that I've tried to, and I think in some cases managed to actually do for a number of students at Rice what my professors did for me, and that is challenge me in ways that resulted in me growing intellectually.
One of the most important experiences I had at Rice was a reading course that I did with Alex, and it wasn't even for course credit, but it was about 15 students who joined together on, I think, Sunday nights, and we discussed certain books and analyzed these books. And I would say I learned more on those Sunday nights with Dr. Byrd than any other course I took at Rice.
Professor Byrd is certainly one of our most outstanding professors. He's beloved by students, he's a great advisor, and students really do love his classes. He's also very devoted to Rice students, he's been a college master, and again, he has a job he does extremely well. But what sometimes people overlook is that he's also a really outstanding scholar. He has a path-breaking book on black migration during the pre-independence period throughout the transatlantic world. This is a book that's been much admired, it's been highly reviewed, and it has won prizes. So, in some sense, he's the complete package. He's a great teacher, great student advisor, and a really superb scholar.
Let's just say first he's at a school where you would want to be an alumni, where you would want to look back and say, I'm glad I went there, it impacted me in this way, and it still impacted me afterwards because I can have those relationships. As a high school student, when you're looking at your life, you're looking at thinking, okay, how far can I go, what can I do, where's a place where I can have good influences, and particularly in this case, who's a person who can influence me well for my foreseeable future. Dr. Byrd is a guy.
I've been a Rice student or a Rice faculty member or a Rice alumnus longer than I've been almost anything else. Like, I've been my mother's son longer, but there's not much else. Plus 0.1, does that sound right? My children were born at Rice, or I should say I was living on Rice's campus as a RA, as a resident associate at Baker College during the births of both of my children. I do have a dear attachment to this place, and it also is a part of my life in ways that I think other jobs perhaps wouldn't have been. If I had taught someplace else, I'd have a different relationship to my workplace.
Every single time.